Florence Scovel Shinn, a visionary spiritual teacher, discovered something extraordinary in 1925. A specific sign the universe sends 48 hours before prosperity unfolds in your life. She called it the divine password. And what if I told you? You've probably already received this sign today, but didn't recognize it? In her most intimate writings, Florence revealed years spent observing hundreds of instances of sudden wealth manifestation. In every single case, the same phenomenon occurred 2 days prior. A precise pattern, so accurate she could predict when someone was about to receive a substantial sum of money. Have you ever woken with a strange feeling that something important was about to happen? That inexplicable sense of anticipation, as if the air around you buzzed with a different energy. Florence discovered this isn't coincidence. It's the first sign that the frequency of abundance is aligning with your physical reality. But here's where 99% of people go wrong. They feel the sign and immediately begin to doubt. They rationalize, explaining the feeling away as anxiety or imagination. And with that doubt, they block the very channel opening to receive. Florence once helped a woman in New York City, desperate and on the brink of homelessness, jobless, facing eviction, with no money for food. Florence looked into her eyes and said something life-changing. Are you feeling a pressure in your chest right now? A sense that something is shifting within you? That's prosperity trying to enter. The woman confirmed she'd felt this for 2 days. Florence smiled. In 48 hours, you will receive an unexpected sum of money. Don't seek its source. Simply express gratitude in advance and remain receptive. Confused yet obedient, the woman left. On the second day, she received a call from a lawyer. A distant relative had passed away, leaving her a substantial inheritance. A relative she didn't even know existed. The amount? Enough to erase all her debts and begin anew. But how did Florence know? What was the secret behind this astounding precision? Florence spent decades studying the hidden teachings of ancient Egypt, where priests developed a system for reading the universe's energetic signals. She discovered our physical body's function as cosmic antennas, picking up vibrational frequencies before our conscious minds even register them. The signal doesn't come solely as a physical sensation. Florence mapped 7 different manifestations that always precede prosperity's arrival. And the most incredible part? They follow a specific sequence, like a secret code the universe uses to communicate with us. The first sign is a sudden shift in your sleep patterns. You might start waking at the same time, usually between 3:33 a.m. and 4:44 a.m. Florence explained these are times when the veil between dimensions is thinnest, and your soul receives information about incoming abundance. The second sign is dreaming of water, flowing water, rain, the ocean, or even dreaming of drinking crystal clear water. In spiritual symbolism, water represents the flow of abundance. When your subconscious mind dreams of water, it means the energetic channels of prosperity are opening. The third sign is numerical synchronicity. You start seeing repeating numbers everywhere, 111, 222, 333, or numbers with personal significance. Florence discovered this happens because your vibration is aligning with the universal frequency of abundance. And numbers are the language the cosmos uses to confirm this alignment. The fourth sign is an inexplicable change in appetite. Some people lose their hunger completely. Others develop an intense craving for specific foods they wouldn't normally eat. Florence explained this is because the physical body is energetically preparing to receive and process the new vibration of abundance. The fifth sign is physical sensations, tingling in your hands, warmth in your heart, pressure in your forehead, or a feeling of lightness as if you're floating. These are your chakras activating to receive the approaching energy of prosperity. The sixth sign is synchronistic encounters. You start encountering people, or receiving calls from people you haven't seen in a long time. Casual conversations that seem to hold deeper meaning. Florence said this happens because the universe is reorganizing human connections, creating the channels through which abundance will reach you. And the seventh sign, the most powerful of all, is a deep sense of gratitude without apparent reason. A feeling of thankfulness welling up from your heart, without anything specific having happened to justify it. Florence revealed this is the final confirmation you're vibrating at the precise frequency of prosperity. But here's a secret Florence kept in her personal journals, revealed only to a select circle of students. There's an eighth sign, the rarest and most powerful of all. A sign indicating the incoming prosperity isn't merely material, but a complete transformation of your financial reality. Florence was once counseling a business executive who'd lost everything in a failed investment. He'd felt all 7 signs, but was impatient, doubting the process. Then Florence told him about the 8th sign. If you're destined to receive life-altering abundance, you'll feel an inexplicable urge to forgive someone from your past. The executive was shocked. 3 days prior, he'd woken with an uncontrollable urge to call his former business partner, who'd betrayed him years ago. He'd resisted this urge, thinking it was weakness. Florence explained this compulsion was actually the universe asking him to energetically clear the channel through which abundance would arrive. Forgiveness isn't about the other person. It's about releasing the energy trapped in resentment and making space for prosperity to flow. Florence taught that forgiveness is abundance's most powerful magnet. When you genuinely forgive, you remove all energetic blockages preventing money from reaching you. The executive followed her guidance. He called his former partner, not to reconcile, but to forgive and release the resentment. A week later, he received an unexpected investment proposal, multiplying his wealth beyond his wildest dreams. But Florence went even further. She discovered a way to accelerate the manifestation of these signs. A specific decree she created, combining ancient Aramaic words with affirmations. A decree so powerful, she only taught it to those who demonstrated a genuine readiness to receive unlimited abundance. The decree begins with the Aramaic words, Malka Deshmaya. This means, the kingdom of heaven is here and now. Florence discovered that these ancient words carry a vibrational frequency that resonates directly with the energy centers responsible for material manifestation. After these Aramaic words, you must pronounce in English, I am grateful that infinite abundance manifests in my life now. All doors open, all paths align, all resistance dissolves. I receive with gratitude what is already mine by divine right. But here's the secret that makes all the difference. Florence taught that this decree must be pronounced at exactly 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. 7 consecutive days. And it must be said in front of a mirror, looking directly into your own eyes. Why look into your own eyes? Florence explained that the eyes are the windows of the soul. When you speak a decree looking into your own eyes, you are communicating directly with your soul, bypassing all the resistances of the conscious and subconscious mind. One of her closest students, a woman named Margaret, followed these instructions exactly. Margaret was facing a severe financial crisis. Her husband had lost his job. She had 3 young children, and bills were piling up with no possibility of payment. On the 3rd day of reciting the decree, Margaret began to feel the signs. First came the change in her sleep. She began waking up naturally at 4:44 a.m., with a feeling of deep peace she had never experienced before. On the 4th day, she dreamt she was swimming in a crystal-clear lake, feeling the pure water touching every pore of her skin. On the 5th day, the numbers started appearing. 333 on the car clock, 711 on the bus number, 111 in the change she received at the bakery. Margaret was starting to believe that something was really changing in her life. On the 6th day, something unexpected happened. She ran into an old school friend she hadn't seen in 15 years. The friend had become a successful businesswoman, and during their conversation, mentioned she was looking for someone with the exact skills Margaret possessed to fill a management position in her company. On the 7th day, while reciting the final decree, Margaret felt an overwhelming wave of gratitude. Tears streamed down her face uncontrollably. It was as if the entire universe was conspiring in her favor. 3 days after completing the 7 days of the decree, Margaret received a call from her friend offering her the job. The salary was 3 times higher than anything she had ever imagined earning. But that wasn't all. On the same day, her husband received an offer to work at a company that had always been his dream. Margaret realized she hadn't just manifested money. She had manifested a completely new reality, where abundance flowed from multiple directions simultaneously. Florence explained that this happens because the decree doesn't just attract money. It activates what she called the Christ consciousness of abundance, a vibrational frequency so high that it reorganizes your entire reality so that prosperity becomes not only possible, but inevitable. But there's a crucial element that Florence always emphasized. The decree only works if you are genuinely willing to receive. It seems obvious, but most people have deep unconscious blocks that sabotage their ability to receive abundance. Florence identified the 3 most common blocks. The first is what she called the unworthiness syndrome, the subconscious belief that you don't deserve to be prosperous, that good people should be poor, that money is the root of all evil. These mental programs act as an antidote to any attempt to manifest abundance. The second block is the fear of responsibility. Many people unconsciously sabotage their prosperity because they are afraid of the responsibility that comes with having a lot of money. Fear of having to manage investments. Fear of relatives and friends asking for financial help. Fear of changing social classes. The third block is the most subtle and dangerous of all, the addiction to the drama of scarcity. Some people become addicted to being victims of circumstances. Scarcity has become part of their identity. Being poor has become their way of receiving attention, compassion, and even a distorted sense of moral superiority. Florence developed a specific technique to dissolve these blocks. She called it energetic surgery of worthiness. It's a process that should be done once, but with total dedication and honesty with yourself. First, you must sit in silence and ask a deep question to your soul. What is the real fear that prevents me from being prosperous? Don't accept superficial answers like lack of opportunity or bad luck. Go deeper. What is the primal fear behind your resistance to abundance? It may be fear of being rejected by poor friends. It may be fear of discovering that even with money, you won't be happy. It may be fear that your parents won't love you anymore if you are more successful than them. It may be fear that God will punish you for desiring material wealth. When you identify the real fear, Florence taught a technique of immediate transmutation. You must look this fear in the eye and say, "I thank you for trying to protect me, but now I choose freedom. I choose to trust in the infinite love of the universe. I release this fear with love and allow abundance to flow through me to bless the world." Florence discovered that when a person performs this energetic surgery with total sincerity, something changes immediately in the energy field around them. Opportunities begin to appear. The right people enter their lives. Coincidences multiply. But she always warned, the abundance that manifests after this energetic cleansing comes with a spiritual responsibility. You become a channel of blessings for others. The money that comes to you is not just for you. It's for you and through you to raise the consciousness of abundance on the planet. Florence told the story of a merchant who came to her completely bankrupt. He had lost everything in a fraudulent business and was considering giving up on life. Florence taught him about the signs and the prosperity decree. In 3 weeks, he received an offer to manage a small business. Instead of just accepting the job, he applied the principles Florence had taught him. He transformed that small business into the most prosperous in the region. But more importantly, he became known for helping other struggling merchants, teaching them the same principles he had learned. That's the true power of Florence's teachings. They don't just transform your individual life. They create waves of transformation that spread to everyone around you. When you become prosperous, by following the right spiritual principles, you automatically become a blessing to the world. Now, if you've made it this far, it's no coincidence. Florence always said that people are drawn to certain teachings precisely when they are ready to apply them. The fact that you're watching this video is a sign that your soul is prepared to receive a new reality of abundance. And if you're feeling a strong emotion right now, whether it's gratitude, hope, or even a sense of urgency, know that this is one of the signs that prosperity is already moving in your direction. Florence taught that emotions are energetic compasses that show us when we're aligned with our destiny of abundance. But before revealing the final secret that Florence kept until her last days, I need to share something important with you. The energy being moved through this video needs to be honored and strengthened. Florence always taught that when we receive valuable spiritual knowledge, we should honor it with an act of gratitude. The super thanks is more than just a button on YouTube. It's an energetic portal through which you declare to the universe that you are ready to receive. Each time someone uses super thanks, a wave of gratitude spreads through the collective energy field, amplifying the manifesting power of everyone watching. Florence said that gratitude is the most powerful magnet in the universe. When you express gratitude for a teaching even before applying it, you activate the law of attraction exponentially. The universe interprets this anticipatory gratitude as a sign that you are vibrating at the frequency of abundance. So, before we continue with the final secret, honor this message and activate your abundance frequency using super thanks. Choose the amount that resonates with your heart and declare to the cosmos that you are ready to receive unlimited prosperity. Now, about the secret that Florence revealed only to her closest circle in the last years of her life. She discovered that there is a 9th sign, so powerful that it indicates not only the arrival of prosperity, but the complete transformation of your financial destiny for the rest of your life. This ninth sign is the rarest of all. Florence said it only happens to people who are destined to become conduits of abundance for thousands of other people. It's the sign that indicates you are being prepared to receive not only personal wealth, but wealth with spiritual purpose. The ninth sign manifests as an inexplicable compulsion to teach or share knowledge with others. You may wake up with clear ideas on how to help people with financial problems. You may feel an urgency to write, speak, or create content that inspires others to prosper. Florence explained that this happens because your soul is being prepared to become a channel for raising the consciousness of abundance on the planet. The universe is preparing to send through you financial resources that are not just for your personal use, but to fund your mission to uplift others. One of the most impressive examples was the case of a retired teacher whom Florence met in 1938. The woman had felt all 8 previous signs, but didn't understand why she felt a constant compulsion to teach about financial management to women in her community. Florence explained that this compulsion was the 9th sign. In 6 months, the teacher received a substantial inheritance from a distant relative. But instead of just enjoying the money, she followed the compulsion she felt and created a financial education center for women. The center became so successful that it attracted investors and donations from across the country. The teacher not only became financially independent, but her initiative helped thousands of women escape poverty. Florence said that this is what happens when someone receives the 9th sign and follows it with courage. But here's the deeper aspect of Florence's teachings on prosperity. She discovered that there is a fundamental difference between common wealth and sacred wealth. Common wealth can be lost through economic crises, bad investments, or external circumstances. Sacred wealth is indestructible because it is founded on eternal spiritual principles. Florence taught that when you manifest abundance by following the principles she discovered, you are not just attracting money, you are activating a state of consciousness that makes prosperity a permanent characteristic of your reality. You become a prosperous person in essence, not just in circumstances. And that brings us to the most powerful decree Florence ever created. She called it the Sacred Wealth Decree. This decree should only be used by people who are truly committed to using their prosperity to raise the consciousness of others. The Sacred Wealth Decree should be pronounced for 21 consecutive days, always at the same time, and always accompanied by a concrete act of generosity, even if symbolic. It could be giving a coin to a beggar. It could be helping a neighbor with a task. It could be sending an encouraging message to someone. The decree is, Malka Deshmaya, I open my heart to receive the sacred wealth that the Creator has destined for me. May this abundance flow through me to bless all life. I am a channel of divine prosperity. I manifest infinite resources to fulfill my sacred mission on this earth. So be it, so be it, so be it now. Florence taught that this decree activates what she called the Christic consciousness of abundance, a vibrational frequency so high that it connects you directly to the infinite source of all prosperity. When you vibrate at this frequency, you no longer need to struggle for money. Money flows naturally to you because you have become a living magnet of abundance. But there's a crucial element that makes all the difference in the power of this decree. Florence discovered that it only works fully when pronounced in a state of deep gratitude. Not gratitude for what you want to receive, but gratitude for what you already have. Even if it seems little. One of her last students, a young widow with 4 young children, followed these instructions exactly. She was so financially desperate, Sometimes there wasn't enough food to feed her children. But even so, every day, she found something to be genuinely grateful for. Or she made her decree. On the 10th day, she began to feel a subtle shift in her energy. On the 15th day, a neighbor offered her work, sewing. On the 20th day, a former teacher of her children offered full scholarships for all the kids at the best school in town. On the 21st day, when she completed the cycle of the decree, she received an unexpected call. An insurance company had located a policy her deceased husband had taken out years ago. A policy she didn't even know existed. The payout was enough to secure the financial future of her and her children for the rest of their lives. But the story doesn't end there. Inspired by Florence's teachings, she used part of the money to create a fund, a support fund, for widows in similar situations. This fund has helped hundreds of women over the years, and it continues to this day. Florence always emphasized that this is the true purpose of material abundance, to give us the resources to serve a higher good. When you prosper with this awareness, you become part of a sacred network of people, working to raise the vibrational frequency of prosperity for all of humanity. And now, we arrive at the most important moment of this video. Florence taught that spiritual knowledge without application is like a seed that's never planted. You can hold all these teachings in your mind, but they only become reality when you act on them. The first step is to start observing the signs that are already happening in your life. Reread the 8 signs I shared and identify which ones you're already experiencing. Florence said that most of the time, the signs are already there, but people don't know how to interpret them. The second step is to choose one of the decrees that resonated most deeply with your heart and start practicing it immediately. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait until you feel more prepared. Florence taught that preparation happens in the action, not before it. The third step is to do the energetic surgery of worthiness that I explained. Identify the real fear that's blocking your abundance and release it with love and gratitude. This may be the most challenging step, but also the most transformative. And the fourth step is to honor the knowledge you've received today. Florence always said that when we honor a spiritual teaching, we become worthy of receiving even more powerful teachings. Use this super thanks to declare to the universe that you value this wisdom and are ready to apply it. But before I finish, I want you to know something important. Florence Scovel Shinn wasn't just a spiritual teacher. She was a practical mystic who tested each of these principles in her own life. She manifested abundance, health, harmonious relationships, and a successful career, using exactly the methods she taught. The teachings I've shared today are not theory. They are proven methods that have transformed thousands of lives over decades. They worked for Florence, they worked for her students, and they will work for you if you apply them with faith and determination. Now tell me in the comments, which of the signs are you already experiencing? Which decree resonated most deeply with your soul? What was the physical sensation you felt watching this video? Florence always taught that when we share our spiritual experiences, we create a current of energy that amplifies the manifesting power of everyone involved. Your comments not only help me create more targeted content, but they also create a community of people committed to conscious prosperity. And if this video touched your soul in some way, if you felt you received exactly the message you needed to hear today, honor that synchronicity by using the super thanks, your gratitude transforms into energetic fuel that allows me to continue sharing these transformative teachings with more people who need to hear them. Remember, you didn't get here by chance. Florence always said that the universe orchestrates sacred encounters between souls and teachings. At the exact moment we are ready for the next expansion of our consciousness. Your life is about to change. The signs are already there. The decrees are revealed. The techniques are explained. Now it's just a matter of applying them and trusting in the sacred process of manifestation. May infinite abundance manifest in your life now and always. May you become a blessing of prosperity for everyone around you. And may the sacred teachings of Florence Scovel Shinn continue to transform lives through you. I deeply appreciate you taking the time to receive this message. Until the next video, keep your vibration high and your heart open to receive all the blessings the universe has in store for you.